Hey guys, Brigham Dion here, just wrapping up day 3. Had a great day out on the site, but just wanted to leave you with a little bit of a devotional thought as we wrap up the day here. One of my favorite places to land in Scripture is Luke chapter 7. There's 4 incredible encounters with Jesus, and one of those is when Jesus is going to a little tiny place called Nain. It's this little tiny small, know-nothing town. Nothing ever significant happened there before except for this story right here. So Jesus starts out and he's en route to Nain, but he starts in a place called Capernaum, and it's a 25-mile walk. And as he's going, he's got this huge crowd of people around him. He's done a lot of miracles at this time. He's got a lot of momentum. People are excited to be around Jesus. And so there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of exuberance around him as he's walking. But certainly they had to be asking themselves the question, we're going all 25 miles today. What's the hurry? We could stop somewhere along the way. But Jesus has something in mind. Because as his crowd approaches the city gates of Nain, they encounter another big crowd leaving the city. And this crowd looks very, very different from Jesus' crowd, because this crowd is a funeral procession. And they said it's the funeral for a widow, and it's her only son who has just passed away. And so it's an incredibly heartbreaking day for this crowd as they're entering out, and everything comes screeching to a halt as these two crowds meet right there at the city gate. And everybody's looking around wondering what in the world is going to happen, who's going to do something. And Jesus, stepping out alone from his crowd, goes over to this woman and he comforts her and he says, "Don't cry, don't cry." And he does something unusual. So he reaches out and he touches the casket. Now, if you know your Old Testament, you know that makes him ceremonially unclean for a day. But if he touched the corpse, it would make him unclean for a week. But for Jesus, that doesn't really matter at this point. And he says this funny little line. He says, "Young man, I say to you, arise." And then there's this unique little line where it says, "And the dead man sat up." Now, I don't know about you, but dead men don't sit up usually, but this one did. And even death could not disobey the word of Jesus. And so here, this ceases to be a funeral procession. Now they all join in celebration. They sort of join in on this sort of Jesus parade here, and they all go right back into the city. And the key thing that people say at the very end of this is that God has come to help his people. You bet he has. He did then, and he's still doing it now. That line was just as true then as it is now. God has come to help his people, and he's done so through people like you and those that have been out on the work site, that he's put his spirit in each and every one of us, and we get to be this part that we get to be the help that God is bringing to his people. And it's just an honor and a privilege that we get to do this sort of thing. We get to be part of how God is showing up in each and every one of these families' lives and doing a work that is beyond what we can dream of, beyond what we can do on our own. And so we get to be the help that God is sending. So hope that sticks with you as you go throughout this day. Join us tomorrow as we dedicate this house and just continue on to be the help that God is sending. So we'll see you guys then.